briefly, then I'm going to let them introduce themselves a little bit further in detail. I'll begin with Martha Roby. She is a conservative Republican, a candidate, as you well know, for Congress, representing the 2nd Congressional District of Alabama. Her first experience in public service came when she was elected to the Montgomery City Council back in 2003. In 2007, she was re-elected with more than 87 or 82% of the vote. She's got a Bachelor's of Music degree from New York University, got it in 1998, and also a degree from the Cumberland School of Law. She's married to Wiley Roby. They have 2 children, Margaret and George. The Robys are members of Trinity Presbyterian Church in the capital city, where they are involved in numerous memories. Our first contestant tonight is Miss Martha Roby. And her esteemed opponent for the runoff is coming up July 13th, I think it is Rick Barber. Rick is a small business operator. In fact, I was looking at his biography, and just as a small boy, he began mowing yards at $10 a yard. Rick, let me give you my address when I leave, if the price is still the same. He is a small businessman, but at the same time, he also has served our country. He was a United States Marine. He was discharged honorably in 1999. He then moved to Montgomery, took a job with Performance Support as a senior systems engineer. He left that in 2001 to go on and get into small business, and now he wants to be part of the political landscape as your representative from the 2nd Congressional District. Let's give a good old-fashioned Wiregrass welcome. Don Odom, you said we were going to flip a coin to see who went first. Did we flip the coin? I'll tell you what, I'll just flip the coin. Miss Roby, we'll let you go first and introduce yourself. Oh, I appreciate you. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I am just so excited. I don't know. Is it on? Hi, I'm Martha Roby. I feel a little funny sitting down. I'm Martha Roby. Is there a timekeeper?
I'm your timekeeper, too.
Okay. So nice to be here with you tonight. I very much appreciate the opportunity to be with you, for you to make the decision for who you are going to vote for the Republican nominee to represent you and go forward and try to defeat Bobby Bright in November, which I know we can. This is a seat that we absolutely must win back. And so we are looking forward to that opportunity. But I appreciate your interest in your country and in your state and in this district to take the time out of your busy lives to be here with us tonight so that we can talk about the issues and learn more about who we are as candidates. I'm from Montgomery. It's always fun to come down to Dothan, and as I've traveled around the district, I've learned more about our state and about the wonderful people who represent us throughout each of these counties. So thank you again for the opportunity. Thank you to the Wiregrass Patriots for putting this on. I know a lot of work went in this tonight. And I really just look forward to answering your questions because, after all, that is what this is about. This is about sending someone to Congress to represent us who will listen to you and take your fight to the floor of the U.S. House of Representatives every time there's an opportunity. Somebody who is willing to listen to the issues that are important to you as you go about your daily lives. Alabama is a conservative state. This is a conservative district, and our conservative voices are not being heard. So I look forward to answering your questions. Thank you again for the opportunity to be with you tonight.
Mr. Barber.
I'm going to do my best to stay sitting down because they warned me I shouldn't stand up. But thank Troy University, thank Don and the Wiregrass Patriots. This is such a blessing because it is getting candidates up side by side that you can really hear them answer the questions, take your questions, see how they answer them, see how they stand. I've been so blessed to be in this runoff election. I was the underdog coming in by all means. I've never run for political office, but I'm proud to be here today because our country is in desperate need. We're in desperate need of bold leadership, real experience in life that's going to get up to Washington, D.C., throw political correctness out the door and start holding our leaders accountable, start bringing issues to the table that need to be discussed, and being willing to stand tall for all the things that aren't being stood tall for today. I'm pleasure to be here, and I look forward to taking your questions as well. Thank you so much.
Rick Barber. We'll ask a question. The candidate that it's addressed to will then get to, for instance, Mr. Barber, since Ms. Roby introduced herself first, we'll go first. When I ask the first question, you have up to 4 minutes to answer the question. I will remind both candidates, if you can cut down on that time, we can get to more questions, but up to 4 minutes. You know, if you're answering at 4 minutes, I'm not going to start waving at you, but I'll just make a little sign. That means kind of wrap it up. And then there will be a 1 minute rebuttal time after both parties, both of our candidates have answered, and then we'll give you a chance to summarize your campaign and talk to the voters at the end of the program. So with that, Mr. Barber, I'll begin with you. And the question is, and by the way, nobody saw these questions before tonight. I didn't even see them. What do you believe is the most pressing issue that faces the new Congress when it meets next year? And what is the first action that Congress should take in the next term? Mr. Barber.
Thank you. I think there's no doubt that right now the #1 issue that we're all facing, not just in the country but in the district, is our economy. If we don't get our economy going again, we're going to continue to have a lapse in jobs, a lapse in tax revenue, and everything else around us is going to start to fall apart. We need to get up to Washington, D.C. and start ripping out all this regulation and all this taxation that's out of line and is taking the incentive out of small business owners being successful. This country was built and has been made so successful by entrepreneurs, people that believe in the free market and believe in growing success in their life and living the American dream. And we need to start putting that incentive back into the hands of the Americans. And when you do that, then you'll have the people creating jobs that should be creating jobs. Americans and small business owners. The government never should be in the business of providing jobs. And when you start doing that, you have this crazy scale when it starts to slide back the other way, and at some point, there is a point of no return. We've got to instill principles back into the free market, give them the ability to create jobs, and I promise you, they will. Entrepreneurs are designed to take risk. They're designed to pursue success, and if we give them the ability to do that, they will. And that's what I look forward to doing when in Washington, D.C.
Ms. Roby.
The #1 issue is jobs, jobs, jobs. We have got to unleash the private sector's ability to create jobs. It is not the government's responsibility. And we all know that our country was founded on ingenuity of Americans who create the jobs themselves. We have got to put money back into the hands of the taxpayers. All of this legislation being handed down, health care, cap and trade, it is creating so much uncertainty in the job market that even those that have the ability to create jobs are afraid to because they don't know how their federal government is going to penalize them. We have got to get money back into the hands of those who can't create jobs. We need to decrease spending, lower taxes, and do just that so that we can have jobs created throughout the district.